may or may not know, I am a pretty big fan of St. Croix rods. A lot of my arsenal is actually outfitted with St. Croix rods, from my surf line of rods down to my inshore, and even a lot of my freshwater stuff is St. Croix. Big fan. Again, great actions. They have an action that can match almost any sort of situation or technique, northeast, fresh, or salt. I'm here with Alex, good friend of mine. We've actually been fishing together many times. We've tested and used a lot of these rods before and put a lot into making some of these rods. But one of their more recent series that they did come out with is the new Avid Inshore series. Sleek design on these, really nice color, some updates to the handles. But here to tell you more about it, Alex, how will you do it? Because you are the expert on this. Take it away.
Thanks, Matt. So really excited to show you guys the new 2024 Avid Inshore with a lot of great upgrades that we made to this series. Avid has been kind of a staple for us for a long time, and so when we start to mess with a series that's been such a strong rod for us, you gotta be careful, because you don't want to mess anything up for something that's been such a great rod. But it's tough to go wrong when we start messing with SC3 Plus carbon fiber, which is what we did here. So SC3 Plus is a carbon fiber that we launched when we launched our Victory series of bass rods, and we learned a lot from that. So SC3 Plus basically allows us to take what we would have done previously with Avid Inshore, take some of the material out, add a higher strain carbon to that as a complementary carbon layer, and lighten the rod up quite a bit. So really that's where this thing is going to shine over its previous generation, is the fact that we lightened it up a bit by going to SC3 Plus. Now, some other things that we've done here that were not available in the previous generation of Avid Inshore, going to be these agglomerated cork handles. Agglomerated cork is really, really cool material. It allows us to do a couple different things. One, we can mold it to the exact shape that we want. We don't have to lathe it and sand it like you do with regular cork. We can mold it to the exact shape that we want, so you get a lot of contour, feels great in your hand. Still has that cork feel, but it is heavy duty.
It's quite a bit of durability here.
Absolutely,
yeah. I can tell right away.
You don't lose that cork filler that you can lose over the years with a cork handle, especially in the salt and the sun. They just beat stuff up. It looks ugly. This stuff cleans up really nice, but you still have that premium cork feel. So really nice handles. On the medium, heavy, and up, we have a rubber gimbal, which is what we've been doing more and more with Mojo Inshore, Legend Tournament Inshore. Keeps that rod locked into a rod holder as you're underway, so you're not banging a reel against the side of your boat. And of course, double locking reel seats on some models. And then we've added quite a few models too. In my hands here, I've got what are my favorites, and especially for the Northeast anglers, where there's a lot of opportunity. So this year, this is the 7.9 extra heavy, moderate fast. This is an absolute incredible rod for throwing metal lip swimmers to stripers.
Okay.
It's perfect for that. It's got the right bend to it. It's a moderate fast action, so it's got a little bit more of a parabolic bend. And then when you hook up with those big fish, you got a ton of fighting power down low. And it makes those metal lips swim exactly like you want them to. So that's the 7.9 conventional. We also do it in a spin, which in my mind is a great rod for the Northeast angler that does some striper fishing, that also gets to chase some yellowfin every now and then. So you can go pop yellowfin with this rod,
so you can handle yellowfin on this.
Absolutely,
as
yeah.
well as stripers.
Absolutely.
Really?
So this is a great crossover rod in my opinion. And we have a lot of things that are happening in the Northeast right now, technique-wise, that heavy-duty tackle is required for. Big nickels flutter spoons, 3-ounce, 9-inch dock plugs that guys are throwing. You need big rods to throw that stuff. This is a great rod to do that for stripers and other things. And of course, we have the versatility in Avid Inshore the whole way down to a 6-foot medium, up to the 7.9 extra heavy. So as you're saying, a little bit of everything. The third one I'll show you here, brand new in Avid Inshore that we did not have before, 6-foot medium. So Matt honestly was the inspiration for this rod, and some of our other anglers in the Northeast who have been snap jigging stripers. You get in deeper water, they're eating smaller bait. How do you present the right bait to that fish and have the right rod to do it? And you guys have been using our walleye rods, our freshwater rods, different things over the years. And when we see that happen, just like we did with this 7.9 that actually started as a musky rod, we want to make sure that we've got it perfectly dialed in for the inshore fishery. So we take what we know about other rods and we tweak them to make them just right. So 6-foot medium, built as a snap jig rod, but also makes an excellent back bay fluke rod as well.
It's interesting because I was talking to a couple of the people before, and we were discussing how a lot of the the freshwater stuff that gets developed on the freshwater side, and it makes its way over to the saltwater side after the freshwater side. So a lot of these concepts are developed on a totally different end of fishing,
Yep.
and they do end up in the salt eventually.
Got
And
it.
it really, you still end up with a really good product at the end of it.
Well,
It's pretty cool.
What happens is we've got a great team of anglers, including yourself, Matt, that use our stuff in the Northeast, and they look outside the box. They don't look at what does St. Croix put in their saltwater reels or saltwater rods. They're looking at the whole catalog, and they find the right tool for the job, and they get back to us and say, hey, this would make great rod to do this if we did this, and we listen, and we have the ability with our control of our manufacturing process, these rods being built right here in the USA, the ability to really tweak and make those exactly fit the needs for what the anglers need, especially in the Northeast. We have a great team there that we lean on.
What all starts with listening to those who do go out there and do this all the time, and that makes a great product.
Yeah.
Understand you guys had an award winner this year too.
We did.
We should go check that out.
Let's go check that out.
Yeah. Best in category, freshwater rod. No joke, I said before, St. Croix won it, and they did with the Mojo Bass. Alex, you got a couple Mojo Bass rods in your hand over here.
Yep.
Give us the rundown on why this rod actually did win the award.
Well, Mojo Bass has been a staple for us for a long time. And so, as I said about Avid Inshore, when you mess with something that's a staple of your lineup, you don't take it lightly. You take it very seriously. And we're not in the business of just repainting things, putting new guides on and calling it new. We are looking for true innovation. So we had worked with a team of industrial designers that have been doing this for a long time, and we started to look at what makes a rod fishable, what makes it comfortable, and we wanted to do a deep dive into how the human body works. And so this gets really weedy.
A little science
involved. So it's actually the science of anthropometrics. Okay, so that is
a big word.
It's a big word, but what that means is we're talking about how the human hand holds a rod.
Okay.
And so for years, everything we've done, generally most of what the industry's done, round handles, right? The problem is your hand wants to naturally go into a more triangular shape when you're holding a rod. So a round rod, your hand is having to conform to the rod. We wanted to build a rod and a handle that conforms to your hand instead. And when we do that, you end up with trigon. So this is Mojo Bass with a trigon handle. Trigon, if you guys can see that, it is a triangular shape. So this is a next level of comfort and fishability and control for a fishing rod. So really you're going to feel it when you hold it, either a spinning rod or a bait caster, you're going to feel that this wants to perfectly conform to that triangular shape of your hand. So Mojo Bass being what it is, a wheelhouse rod, again, we're not just going to take this lightly. We're going to do a lot of the research into how we can make this rod better and more fishable for the angler. But then we're also going to look at what trends are happening in the marketplace right now. So we've recently done Victory, Legend Tournament Bass, and we've added models in there that anglers are looking for. 7.3 medium extra fast, 7.3 medium light extra fast, 7.10 medium light extra fast, which has blown us away in Victory and Legend Tournament with the popularity of that length, power, and action. Awesome hair jig rod. So we've added those popular SKUs that were not previously available in Mojo Bass into Mojo Bass now. So there's some great options in there, including another trendy thing here, BFS, Bait Finesse System. So this specifically for BFS is designed to throw very small hard baits on a bait casting reel. So a lot of BFS, the buzz around BFS is a lot of small soft baits, but we looked at where we could provide anglers the upper hand. That's what we live by, is how do we provide the anglers the upper hand. And we looked at what people are trying to do with a bait cast rod, and is it out there? And it wasn't. So this is a 7 foot 1 inch, medium light, moderate fast, extremely lightweight, very light tip, and you can throw a little square bill an absolute mile on this. So again, we looked at BFS as an opportunity to bring more rods to the angler that we didn't have in any series at this point, so we've got them here now.
I see what you mean about conforming to your hand.
Absolutely.
Right away, Alex put this in my hand, and I can feel that automatically it conforms right to my hand. That's pretty cool stuff, Alex.
And what we're hearing about, especially on the bigger rods, so you talk like a 7.4 frog rod, or a heavy punching rod, or a big swim bait rod, the level of control. So when you have big fish and big torque and big baits, round wants to rotate. So having triangular with some angles that match your hand really well, it allows that to lock into your hand. You palm a reel, and everything locks right up. And then of course, grasp, which we launched last year at ICAST, adding that into our swim bait rods for Mojo Bass, next level of control. So now grasp, which was only previously available in a higher price point rod, available on Mojo Bass now.
Right. Science, innovation, St. Croix.
You got it.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Alex.
Matt.